hosting an event, being self-sufficient, and actually empowering us to actually take the wheels of something, which has been a request for quite some time. So if you guys are looking to get involved in something and actually make a difference on campus, this is going to be one small way that you'll be able to see an impact that you physically make in an event that will be all over the news, which I'll get to in a second, all over the radio, and then you'll make some difference in some kid's life, which I'll get to as my third thing. So quick updates. I've been in contact. I've sent out a whole bunch of emails to a whole bunch of TV stations, Channel 20, some GTN, and also 105.3. Does anybody listen to 105.3? There you go. All right, at least one person. That's good. So hopefully, if you listen to 105.3, you'll be hearing a lot more announcements about having FERC here. We're going to be breaking a world record on November 17th from 2 to 6 p.m. Does anybody remember what time the world record attempt is going to be at?
350 something.
3:59. Does anybody remember why?
Because that was the original world record, and that's the one we're about to break for Hopscotch.
Exactly. So 359 people is the current record for the most amount of people hopscotching simultaneously for 10 minutes, and we need at least 360 people. Okay, so we're breaking at 3:59 p.m. to break it at around basically 4 o'clock. Tell your friends to at least be there by 4. If not, event starts at 2. We're going to start to do a whole bunch of stuff. Sony's going to be giving away some prizes that equal up to a little bit over $350 worth of prizes. Natalie's probably going to be there handing out some Google stuff. We have some awesome sponsors. I'll name drop some. We have New Scooters for Less, and we have One Source Accounting, for those of you guys that know Stephanie and Colin. And I'm also working on some other sponsors as well. This morning I was at a BNI meeting, if any of you guys know what that is. It's just like some random networking events for people older. And so I'm working on some more sponsorships. For all of the people who are in the event planning and managing thing, your job was really supposed to start recruiting volunteers. Hopefully you have at least close to 10 right now per person to get to at least, I think it was around 40 volunteers total. This is what we're going to get as a group. And then for anybody else with the publicizing and marketing side, we posted a picture on Facebook the other day, and we got over 1,000 people to view it at least, and we got around 20 people to like it and share it and whatnot, so that's good work on that end. We're going to be, by the end of next week, my goal is to at least have one more flyer done and ready to go, and the week after that is we're going to push all the other flyers. I need to get a lot of flyers printed. There's a food truck rally Friday night at Simplify. If any of you guys want to come out with me, I'm going to be passing out a whole bunch of flyers there. And if anybody else wants to get involved with any aspect of the event, please come talk to me. So I'm pretty sure I hit most of the major points. We need people to be donating and signing up online. It's just a $5 donation, and then they'll get in. And I'm thinking I'm just going to go with glasses, like I said before, for the event. Does that make sense? No?
Yes.
Okay, you shook your head no for a sec. All right. Very cool. All right, again, if you guys have any questions about trying to break a world record or wanting to become more involved in an organization on campus, let me know. It's going to be cool. Thank you.
And admission comes with a sweet pair of 2D glasses.
Big sweet pair of 2D glasses, exactly. So again.
All right. So that's awesome. Who wants to all get to know some of these tech people that you're next to and like across from? Well, like behind more than across from more. Okay, none of you. Sorry, we're going to cancel it. Sorry. So no, we are having a social this Saturday. We're going to get to shoot at each other and is it laser tag or paintball?
Laser tag.
Laser tag, yes. So that's less clothes ruining and more sciencey. We are trying to get about 12 people signed up so that we have enough people for a group rate. Talk to me or Swaroop or Masood after the meeting and we'll get you signed up and it's going to be uber awesome.
Wait, just real quick, where is the laser tag going to be at?
The battle sports in Alachua.
Repeat that again?
Alachua Battle Sports. In the battle sports.
Hold on, wait, does this take a car to get there? Like how many miles approx is this away?
20 miles. We're carpooling.
We'll be setting up carpools. If
Oh,
you want
okay,
to be
cool.
involved, We'll make sure that you get taken care
Alright,
of.
sweet.
Or you can just
Yeah, hitchhiking is awesome, but not
Not advised by the Entrepreneurship Club.
Not officially endorsed by the Entrepreneurship Club, and not approved to treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Yes. So, what else?
we're going to talk about Startup Weekend.
Yes, so Startup Weekend, you just missed it. It was freaking incredible. I was there for not nearly enough of it. But Startup Weekend's an awesome event where you get together, you make teams, you take 3 days to build a company. This guy did it, that guy did it.
A lot of people did it.
A lot of people did it. Like, there were a lot of people there. And this guy's going to talk some more about it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, there's actually half the people in this room were probably at Startup Weekend Gainesville. But if you weren't, what Startup Weekend Gainesville is you have the weekend to pitch your idea, you form teams, and then you try to build a minimal viable prototype to show off and then present. There were multiple ideas within this room. We had everything from 3D printing to dorm room decorations. I was on a team that was the only hardware presentation, and we took second for designing earbuds that pause when you take them out of your ears and are wireless. From that being said, Tech had a really strong showing at the event, and to see the amount of quality of work coming out of Tech members was really great. Like, it was great, guys. And if you haven't ever been involved in one of these events, I would highly recommend it. It was really fun. For students, it was only $50. But you take away such great contacts, such amazing, you get to meet such amazing people. It was really good. So the next time that there's a Startup Weekend in Gainesville, or around the state or the country, it's all over the place. And you definitely want to check it out. Thank you, guys.
Startup Weekend Orlando is the 22nd.
Yes, on that note, who's excited for the Florida-Georgia game? Who's excited for the Florida-Georgia Southern game? That's the same weekend as Startup Week in Orlando, and I think we can probably go. So if you're interested in going as a club or as part of the Gainesville Startup community, we're going to be putting together a Facebook group, not committee or community, just group, together, putting together, hotel, lodging, transit, all that good stuff to make sure that the people who want to do Startup Week in Orlando can definitely get down there, participate, and have an awesome tech showing, as we have made a tradition of doing at Startup Week in Tampa and Orlando every single event.
Again, what weekend is this?
Yeah.
What?
That's going to be the 22nd of November.
22nd of November.
That's
okay.
the week before Thanksgiving.
Week before
The
Thanksgiving.
week before the Florida FSU game.
Right.
The week before anything interesting. And after anything interesting.
You call us losing interesting?
We're not going to lose to Georgia Southern, at least.
We won't lose to Georgia Southern, that's for sure.
Yeah. Isn't homecoming right before that? It's Van.
Homecoming
Week.
is like, it's not this weekend, it's the next weekend.
Oh, well then we might actually. We will win, and it will be a great, wonderful time.
Hopscotch tournament.
Oh, yes, and Hopscotch
Not
tournament
against
is which
Georgia.
weekend?
So good. Did they
Okay, yes, that is super duper important, and everybody mark your calendars like I haven't done mine and will as soon as I get done, like 18 different times. I think that's all our announcements.
So is you're going to arrange for a hotel or something, or no? Everybody's on their own.
No, the reason for the group is so that we can arrange for lodging between everybody and make it cheap and not super expensive, and make transit possible and make sure nobody has a bad time. All right, so I think that's all the announcements. Does anybody have any announcements of their own? Cool. All right, everybody, round of applause, even though this is a tiny room. So a good friend of mine, awesome entrepreneur. She's super inspiring. Monica Desai. Take it away.
Oh God, I have to live up to that?
Yes.
I have to inspire you today?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do all that. How's everyone doing? Good. You have pizza, you have a box to each person. You have to be happy right now. Okay, so we'll keep this sort of informal. At the end, you can ask questions. I'm gonna do a mini workshop later on too, to just show you guys some different things I have going on. I'm Monica Desai, 5'5", considered ethnically ambiguous. And that might be kind of weird. Why would I introduce myself on my physical characteristics, my aesthetic attributes, which you can already see? Because, as later on I'll let you know, those attributes were actually the reason that I could start my company. So going back to the way, way beginning, I'm from Orlando, and I used to work at this company where we sold all types of jewelries like belly rings, earrings, rings that go in places you didn't even know were supposed to go there. And I did a pretty good job personal selling because I love sort of grabbing people as they're walking by and just saying, hey, you really need to try this out. I'll give you this deal. And I guess you could sort of say I was hustling, but I did enjoy that. So then my manager said, okay, we're going to throw you into a new field, and it's going to be fashion watches. So I'm like, okay, fashion watches, that can't be so hard. Now when you work at the Orlando Premium Outlets, you have to learn about everything you're selling in about 5 minutes because somebody will come up to you in God knows what language and start asking you about, what are these watches, why should I buy one, how much are they, can you give me a discount? So pretty much I went up to everything and I looked at all, I said, okay, so I've got these colors, I've got this price range, and the price range is kind of flexible, so you sort of have to be really creative about that, right? So I looked at all these watches and I said, okay, people started coming up to me. Got people from Brazil, people from Spain, people from all around the world, and they're asking you, why should I buy this watch from you, right? So I took this as kind of a market analysis, right? So I got to see who is interested in these watches. What's the demographic of these people? How old are they? Are they male? Are they female? From what country are they from? What was the most popular watch I was selling that day? And after I kind of put all these things together, I said, why don't I take this concept to Gainesville? Because I can't be in Orlando all the time. It was kind of just like a summer thing, treated as an internship. I just went there, worked there for a little bit, and then I would come back to Gainesville. So then I sat down and I said, okay, I should start an online retailing company. E-commerce is the way to go. I can take these watches, put it on a website, and then have people buy from the website, meaning I don't have to be in Orlando, I don't have to be in Gainesville, I can be anywhere in the world, right? So I went through the whole brainstorming session, as you all know, writing down hundreds of different names for the companies, figuring out which one's the best one, and I finally settled on Trendy Time, time with a Y, because of course that's just very trendy of me. And I decided to take samples of watches. So I got these samples from the place that I used to work. And the reason I got these samples was so I could take pictures of each of the watches, Photoshop them up, make them look all professional, and then put them on the website. Now you have to do this when there aren't just stock photos laying around of all your products. You have to go do it yourself. And this means I created this photo studio inside my house. Of course, my parents love that. And I had YouTube teach me a lot of things, and one of them was how to Photoshop the backgrounds out of all these watches. So we just had a nice white, clean background, kind of had good contrast on the different watches, and of course just made them appealing to people who would go online and look at them. Then what I thought was, okay, if I'm going to sell watches, I'm not just going to sell the hundreds of different styles of watches. I'm going to specifically cater to the Gainesville population, who obviously is going to want more orange and blue watches or watches with actual Gators on them. So after this, I said, okay, I love this whole online thing, but the main thing that drew me into this, the whole me wanting to do this, was the personal selling aspect. As I told you before, I like to go up to people and just say, hey, your wrist looks naked. You look like you need to wear a watch right now. I'm gonna go get one. I put it on them, and then they say, boom, sold. I'll buy a watch from you, okay?
Does that work?
It works. It works all the time, actually. So that was my whole thing. I really wanted to get back into the personal selling because with online, there's not a face-to-face interaction. Somebody buys it, you ship it out. Sometimes you don't even know, if they like the watch or not, and you have no reaction to it, okay?
And isn't it more costly?
And yeah, it's more costly in terms of you're paying for maybe a web provider, you have to purchase the domain name, you have to get the site hosted, and of course you have to market it because there's millions and millions and millions of websites on the internet, but you have to get people to somehow get to yours, right? So then I decided, okay, I want to personally sell these watches in Gainesville. But now the difference, as you guys probably know, is that when you're engaging in e-commerce, you of course don't have to actually have the products on you. Kind of like how Zappos started, right? So people would order shoes online, he would run to the store, get the shoes, and then ship them out to them. So he never had any inventory on him. Later on, they started changing the way they process everything and whatnot. But when you have an online company, nobody actually knows what you have in your house, in your apartment, on you. You might just go get it that day and then go ship it out to them. And they've got no clue what's going on. But for personal selling, you have to have the products on you, right? So if I'm going up to people, hey, I think you should buy a watch. Okay, I want one. Oh, let me go get it and bring it back to you. That doesn't work, right? So then I figured, okay, I need to somehow invest in getting a bulk order of watches, because as you guys know, you have to get more than one in order to get a more discounted price and whatnot. So I had to get a big bulk of them. This is where my ethnically ambiguousness came in, because I said, and this is what's really important, a lot of people want to start companies, right? But the first thing they say is, where do I get the capital from? I've got this awesome idea. Everybody wants it. Everyone's going to buy it. But I don't have any money to do it. Like, I don't have these angel investors just dropping down and saying, here are hundreds of millions of dollars, right? So you have to figure out a way to get this initial investment to put into your company. So the way that I did that is I started professionally acting and modeling, and I did a bunch of different commercials, print ads, whatever, here and there, all around Florida. And I used all that money that I made to just reinvest back into the company. Because to me, it was fun. You just sit in front of a camera. It's not too much work, whatever. And then I took the money that I made from there, and then I would put it into buying this bulk order of watches. So actually, one anecdote from that is that I would have to do this in between classes. So my classes would be over, and I'd get booked for something. I have to leave from Gainesville, drive, this example was in Tampa. I had to drive to Tampa, do a shoot there for Verizon, which was like, it was the craziest, weirdest thing, but for Verizon. And then I had to drive back that night because I had classes in the morning. So I actually stopped at a rest stop in the middle because I was falling asleep while driving. I put my windows down, my phone was dead, and I went to sleep in my car. Don't do that. That's a horrible idea. My parents called my roommates. My parents were like, I have no clue where she is. They thought I died because for a little bit I kind of did. I was in the middle of a rest stop. It was really scary, so don't do that. But, so I did these jobs here and there so I could get the capital to invest in my company. So finally I ordered a big bulk order of different orange and blue watches, Gator collegiately licensed watches, the ones with actual Gators inside of them. And I ordered a bunch of these based on what I thought would sell more, which goes back to when I worked for that company, what I was able to see when sort of analyzing the market. So I got these watches in. First of all, a lot of friends ended up buying from me. They're like, oh, I love this stuff. And so I would sell it to a bunch of friends. And then I was walking around, tailgating, of course, one game day, and then I see on University, there are all these people selling stuff, like selling the most random stuff too. People just walking by, selling these, crazy frat tanks and hats and all this Gator sort of gear and like game day stuff. So I was like, how do I get involved in this? I want to sell stuff too. So then I started sort of talking to a few people, and I talked to my hot dog man. He sold hot dogs outside, and I talked to him. I said, okay, listen, I want to sell some stuff out here, but how do I do it? I know that I feel like you have to have a permit or something, and there's some legal way of getting out here. And he's like, this is what you do. You go to City Hall, you get a permit, and once you have the permit on you, you are allowed to sell during a certain season, during certain months. So I was like, okay, but I didn't feel like getting the permit yet. So next game day, I showed up, and it was me, and I hired a friend to help me out, and we were just kind of, walking around like, hey, you want to watch? You watch? And then I'm making a transaction, and I see from the corner, I was like, oh, there's some tall guy standing behind me. So I'm like, oh, it's okay. I'll just, make the transaction, no big deal. Ends up working. Thank you. Have a good day. Enjoy your watch. And he's like, ma'am, could you come here for a second? And I'm like, yeah, what's up? What's going on? He's like, can I see your permit to be selling here? And then this is when the acting skills came in. I'm like, what permit? I didn't know I was supposed to have a permit. Of course I knew. The hot dog man told me. I was like, what are you talking about? I don't know about this permit. He goes, give me your license. I'm like, I don't have a license. Because when they take your license, they can mark down that you violated code. So I knew not to give it to him. And then he asked my partner, does she have a license? I'm like, don't worry about her. Okay, take me, not her. So he ended up saying, you have to go get a permit in order to sell out here and let you complete your transaction because I'm not going to come in the middle of it and, be that guy. So I said, okay, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. He's like, no, seriously, let me see you pack up your stuff. I'm like, okay, jeez. So I took it and I left. Then I decided, okay, let me go to City Hall and do this the right way. So I got all lost in like this antique part of Gainesville where the City Hall is located, walked for like miles back and forth, finally found them, and I bought a peddler's permit, which is you're allowed to sell outside of campus, but you have to walk unless you're making a transaction, then you can stop. So you don't have to like walk while you're like taking people's money, but you have to walk the whole time. That's the whole, regulation behind that. So I said, okay, I'll do it. And at first I was kind of mad because other people, they got these beautiful tables and I saw them with their like nice like things of, all these products on there and I'm like, I want that. Why do I have to walk around? That just sounds like low class to me. But then I was like, okay, I'll just do it anyway. So we made a banner. We made this lovely thing right here, okay, in which my friend would hold it and she'd kind of turn it around and game day watches right here. And at first I didn't really know how to hold the watches because you can't just like, go like this, trench coat. My dad was like, you should just have a trench coat, but it was too hot for that. So instead I made this thing out of like a gift wrapping, the inside of a gift wrapping, and then covered up with some felt. And although this seemed kind of weird, I would just have to walk up to people and literally put it in their face. I'm like, would you like a watch today? Just boom, hit them on the face with it, right? And this actually worked so well. People would respond so well to it because I literally wouldn't even have to talk. Before I was like, game day watches, come here, But now this way, I just had to show people this. And then they would look and they're like, as they're walking by, they're like, oh, I like that one. So then I'm like, come back, I've got a deal for you. Come here. Let's talk. So this was great. This was really great for me. So I got the permit and I ended up selling for a couple of years. Did really well actually because we weren't stationed at a table. Because we didn't pay all that money to get a table that didn't move. We got to walk around and talk to people and actually get people to purchase the products directly from us. So we ended up doing pretty well, which was nice. And then I kind of got more technologically advanced, got the Square app, which you all should know about and you all should use if you're going to do something like this. So that you could take the credit card transactions straight from your phone. That ended up increasing sales by a lot because a lot of people just didn't have cash on them to buy it right there. So that was a really great thing. One of the other things we did was a fashion show with Ann Taylor and Macy's, which was really nice. Really got to present all the watches to the wide community here in Gainesville and then had a bunch of sales actually from that specific event. And the next event, which is what will lead me into this mini workshop, is called Entrepreneurs Raid the Plaza. This is an event that Trendy Time, as well as CEI, Center for Entrepreneurship and Innovation, is putting on next week on Wednesday, November 6th from 11 to 4 in the Plaza of the Americas. Now, the reason that I set up this event is because you guys will learn about entrepreneurship, right? You learn all these things in your classes, and it's really great. Okay, maybe you guys have products you like to sell, maybe you don't, whatever. This is specifically made so that you can go out in the middle of the Plaza of Americas and actually make transactions. You can sell your products right there on site and make money during an on-contact transaction, right? Now, the reason that this is pretty cool is because this is totally illegal. You can't usually do this. But we got the permits to be able, for one day, to allow young student entrepreneurs to actually come out and sell products that they make. That I'm a reseller, I don't make these products, I have a distributor, right? But I'm still allowed to sell these products on campus. I did this last year, and it was very successful for me. So I definitely will have, I'll make you shoot out a blast about the event. But what leads me into this workshop is this table right here. So for the event, we actually got student government to provide us with tables. So if you were planning on participating in the event, there's going to be tables and chairs. You don't have to worry about having your own, okay? But here's the problem. Last year when I went to the event, I literally saw people selling products on a table like this. Like just like this, they just sort of they didn't even have this lovely thing that I made here, but they put their product here and they're like, here, buy it, go. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it so? Look at my products. Don't look at the table, look at my products, right? But the thing that I want to share with you guys is that it seems like such a small thing. These are just bells and whistles, who cares, doesn't matter, right? This table is probably the most important thing you can do when you're at an event like this, when you're at a trade show, when you're at something in which everything surrounding you is the definition of what you are and what you're selling, okay? So I was the only person last year who did anything to their table to make it even a little bit professional looking, and I found out about this event the night before. So I literally went to Walmart and bought everything I could that would sort of make it look professional, and people came to my table because they'd look around and they're like, oh, what, like that's weird, but then they saw the table and they're like, okay, this looks professional. You look like you're actually a company. You look like you actually care about what you're doing. So today I'm going to show you how you can actually present yourself on a nice table, starting like this. Look at this. There's like roaches in here. There's like bugs. It's disgusting, okay? Oh, by the way, this like folds up into a suitcase, so this is super easy to carry around. But I want to show you how, for not much money at all, okay, once again, we're college students, we're not trying to spend all this money. For just a little bit of money, you can actually take this table and transform it into something that looks at least presentable, at least decent for people to come look at. So, if I could have one volunteer, you right there, one volunteer to help me put this table together, and I will explain to you the costs behind everything that I'm using, okay? So first of all, let's get this nice thing on there. This is not a trash bag, guys. Although you could use a trash bag if you want. Okay.
Black is always the best color for something like this.
Exactly. You want your products to show, you want them to pop out, okay? This tablecloth is 97 cents at Walmart. My table already looks 20 times better than it did with all this crap under it, okay? So 97 cents, that's your first expense. Really not bad, right? Oh, right, okay. So this, I literally just found stuff in my apartment, okay? I didn't plan any of this. This is a shoe rack, okay? You can like comes apart and all this great stuff. This is a shoe rack. You're supposed to put shoes on it, but today we're gonna make it into our presentable professional table. I don't know how much this shoe rack is, but go to your friend's place and take one from their apartment, and then it's free, okay? All right, so next, it looks like a shoe rack, so fabric is literally the best thing you can use for any of this stuff. I'm gonna take this fabric. This was costly, guys. It was $5.
A yard?
Yeah, it's a little over a yard, but.
But 5 per yard, or?
Yeah, I think it's like 5 per yard. All right, so we're covering it up, whatever. Again, we're doing this really quickly, okay? Just to show you the general gist of everything. Now, if you want to, you can put, this is what I would do, I would just take a piece of black poster board and put it in the back here to just sort of completely fade out this shoe rack we have here, but I got transparent cloth, so. Or you could just put multiple layers of the cloth.
Couldn't you even use this tablecloth for it if possible?
Exactly. Another 97 cents, throw it right on top, you're done. There's nothing to it, okay? Okay, now, all right. We're gonna go to these really amazing things right here. All right, so here is more of this tablecloth. Now this amount of tablecloth, do you see that's on here, is probably gonna be $1, maybe less than $1. It's like literally 2 squares, right? Look how ugly it is in the back. But is anybody looking at this? No, nobody cares what this looks like. They care what this looks like. These are 68-cent boxes, okay? These are the ones that you're supposed to build yourself into like a little tiny box, but they're 68 cents
Where were
at
these?
Walmart.
At Walmart?
Walmart. Walmart is your one-stop shop. Even the dollar store can't compare. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna ask another volunteer to do, because you guys are just so eager to help me, I know it.
So this is like 1 per side?
Yeah. Alright, so what I'm gonna ask you to do is take these are thumbnails. These were like $4, but that's because I got the black and white ones. If you get some like multicolored pack of whatever you want, it's probably gonna be like $2, maybe even less than that, okay? So what I want you to do is put 6 of these equally spaced on the tops of these boards. And you could put whatever color, actually you can do whatever you want. Okay. All right, so while he's doing that, we're gonna take a shoebox. Look, we all have shoebox. If you don't have a shoebox, go to Payless. They will give you a free shoebox. You don't even have to buy shoes, okay? Get a shoebox, put something in it so your stuff doesn't fall out, okay? And just throw it on top right there, okay? But I'm not endorsing Timberland. But what I'm endorsing is trending time. Sorry, I'm gonna hit you right there.
Would you need a thumbtack for that if possible? Or is it?
What I would probably do is stick some like tape going back there so that in the wind it doesn't sort of fall off. But okay, look, we used our shoebox to say trendy time. Wonderful. Here, you know what? Someone else. Oh, you're already done. That's so great. Here, thanks. Okay, so we're gonna put this right here, sort of like on an angle, make it fancy.
Shouldn't you just straighten it out, or is it just fine, I suppose?
Yeah, just like a little angle, so like takes up more space.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A little bit more space there. Okay. Ooh, this is essential. This is the fanny pack, okay? It's super cool. Everybody likes to wear these. I know it. See, the fanny pack is very essential because this is where you keep all your change. If you're going to sell, especially at this event, if you're going to sell, you're going to want to have change with you. And you're also going to want to have business cards. People are always going to ask you, well, can I get them online? Can I do this? So always have business cards on you too.
Because convenience is always trendy.
Exactly. And you want to keep your square little card reader probably right here in your fanny pack too. Perfect. Look at that. Okay. That is, give a round of applause. That was amazing. You guys did really great. Okay. So now I'll give you the general idea of what we're going to do here. Can you figure out what we're going to do?
So we're basically putting the watches on display first, like here to here.
Exactly.
I think we should put the Gator ones here, if that is the case. It might make it more.
Yeah, however you feel is the right way to do it. I believe in you.
This dude is the man to have with you when you're selling this stuff. For real. All
See, you always
organized
want
and
to
stuff.
partner because it's going to make everything so much quicker.
Maybe orange on one side, blue on the
How
other.
much do you sell the watches for, if you don't mind me asking?
So everything's going to range from about 15 to 30. These right here are around $15. They're just simple orange and blue watches.
How much do you buy them for?
That is not a topic to discuss here. Google it and you can find out. It depends on which watch, but it's usually 2 to 2.5 times markup. So you can.
How do you estimate the quantity to buy?
What was that?
How do you estimate the quantity?
Okay, so actually when I first did it, I didn't really know how many of each watch I should buy. So I kind of I did some of them that I didn't think were gonna sell too much. I did like fewer of those. And then like, for example, I did more of the ones with the Gator logo on them. But after I sold them, what I realized was that I probably should have got like 50% of them with the Gator logo and then the rest of them with like some of the other types of watches, because the Gator ones are definitely the top sellers for sure. So definitely should have got more of those. Okay, yeah, perfect. So what we're gonna do is take these.
Oh, that's actually a smart move. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, look at that. Look at this display. Look, that took us like what? 8 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
Did it really?
I was timing it.
Oh,
I probably
horrible with time perception. So that was really good job for me. Okay.
If only there was a way for us to tell how much time has passed.
Oh. How much trendy time has passed.
Exactly. We'll put this last one.
Yeah, better idea.
Okay, so look, it didn't take us very long, but now we at least have something people can look at, okay? When people walk by, this looks a lot better than just this table with watches like kind of thrown on it, right? That looks like you don't care about your business. That looks like you don't care about your product. That looks like maybe you stole these watches and you're reselling them to people.
Like in New York.
Exactly, exactly. So it doesn't look professional. So what the point of this is that especially if you're going to participate in an event, such as Entrepreneurs Rate the Plaza or a trade show or something like that, put a little bit of effort into actually creating a display, okay? 97 cents, $1, $2, another $5 here. It was really, really inexpensive. It took like 8 minutes, and it looks professional. So I hope this was a takeaway for all of you guys to sort of understand that the bells and whistles really do matter. It's what helped me. And if you do something similar to this, please always keep in mind presentation and being professional. All right, that's it. Thank you. Where's this? Right there.
I'd probably center it.
Yeah, I did that last time.
So you still, is it more profitable for a business to do it online or in person?
If you're going to do it online, then you definitely need to understand online marketing. There's always Facebook marketing, there's SEO and all that, but you might want to hire a third party to help you with that and draw traffic to the website, because it's very, very difficult to get people from all around the world to somehow get onto your website. I've been working on it. I've done some like Facebook ads and whatnot, and doing a little bit on SEO, but personally for me, my strong point is the personal selling. So I've had a lot of success with that, but I'm kind of going more towards wanting to be able to get like most of my sales online rather than needing to do events and stuff and like personal selling.
Do you stock up inventory differently, as in like for the website and then offline?
I stock up on the inventory in general. So this all was from a bulk order that I got in order to sell at the games. And pretty much I have these items with me. So if somebody buys one online and it's something that I have, then it's perfect. I could just ship it out. If I don't have it, then I have to find a way to go get it somehow. The hard thing with that is that my distributor, you have to get a certain dollar amount minimum. So then you have to kind of figure out alternate ways to get the product to the customer in a normal amount of
But
time.
wouldn't that take a long time? Like, and this is a time-sensitive market, right?
Right. I mean, and that's why you actually tell people that this is going to take X to X number of business days. It'll take 5 to 7 business
Okay.
days or whatever, so that I do have time. And when you say 5 to 7 business days, then that is the whole week plus eating into the next week.
Right.
So you do have time to sort of figure out a way to get the product and get it to the customer.
Do you have competitors out here selling the similar products?
Out here, actually, there was one company and they shut down, so that's good news.
I mean, otherwise, if you say 5 to 7 business days, then they would probably cancel the order.
I mean, they put in the order and then you let them know that it's gonna take this long, and then usually they're ordering it not to get it that next day. And if they did wanna get the next day, then they can pay for extra shipping and whatnot, and then I'll make sure that they have it. But there's always that time of processing time, so that's the time it takes me to get the watch, and the time for shipping is based on however much extra you pay for it.
So I have a lot of questions on e-commerce stuff, but one of them is where do you go to set up your shop, like Shopify or Squarespace, anything like that?
So I actually use something called freewebstore.org, which is a British company, so they charge you in pounds. But I used to use, is it free? It's not free, but it's not very expensive either.
Okay.
Because,
It's 315 products, right?
yeah, I think under 15 products, you're
Really?
fine.
Hold on. Okay.
Because they have free web stores.
Free stuff is overrated.
It's 315 quotes.
Pay for the valuable stuff that you're using.
I mean, I'd rather
Yeah.
pay in pounds than.
And the thing
Twice
is,
the
I
amount you'll be-
researched a lot of places, and they were one of the least expensive, because I first used, no, the V.
Yeah.
The V. Oh my god, I hated them so much.
You didn't
I
use
forgot their
PayPal
name.
before though, didn't you?
Well, you can pay through PayPal. It's not.
You
like
can you can
that's
pay
an
through
e-commerce site.
anything. Like it still works as you just put that you want it in dollar currencies, and then everything works just like normal.
Ah.
Volusion. I used Volusion, and I have bad reviews for them, so don't write that down.
I just
Okay.
wrote down freewebstore.com.
They charge you a lot, and like they didn't help you ever. They just said, oh, sorry, well, figure it out, fix it, whatever. So, freewebstore.org though. You wanna-
.org, okay.
Yeah, you wanna check them out.
Apart from game days, how do you like maintain your presence at UF or in Gainesville? Like, do you have any like extra thing going on apart from game days, or like permanent store, or your workplace or something like that?
Right. So I still have the online portion, which I can still sell from there, sort of any time of the year and whatever. But also, I get involved in different events that allow me to sell my my products. So, for example, I did that fashion show with Macy's and Ann Taylor, and that was another event where I actually got to sell my items right after the show, after they already like showed them off to the audience and everything. I got to sell right after that. Entrepreneurs Raid the Plaza, I did it last year and I'm doing it this year again. I'm hopefully creating this event into something that happens more than once a semester. For example, UCF actually has an event where our young entrepreneurs can come out and sell their items, and they do it every week. And we only have this every year. No, it only happened once last year. So what I'm trying to do is get it to happen now, and then set up the pathway for it to happen maybe twice a semester, maybe a few times a semester, and then eventually every other week, and then hopefully we can get to the point where we're doing this every week. And in that case, you would have an outlet every single week to sell your products.
Have you talked to the iHub about getting involved and pressuring UF to do something like that?
I haven't talked to iHub. I've been working with CEI mainly and SG, and they're allowing the permit for it to happen for one day.
Right.
But I know that I've tried to get permits to sell stuff on campus all the time, and they're really stringent on what you can and can't do, competing products and all that. So,
Yeah, try and sell a bottle of Coke on campus.
Exactly. So I feel like if they allow us to set up our own regulations, like obviously you can't sell competing products and this and that, then they would let us have it maybe a couple times a semester, and then eventually say, look how great this is.
Yeah.
This is entrepreneurship at its best. We're spreading innovation, and then maybe we can have it happening hopefully every week.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
I don't know, whichever, yeah.
So you mentioned dropshipping, but do you dropship?
In terms of,
Rerouting the orders to the supplier to ship.
so mine is more that I purchase, so the person purchases the item, right? And then I purchase the item from wherever I get it from, or if I have it on my inventory. And then I just ship it out from me.
Okay.
So, yeah, once your business gets, really rolling and you have more volume and everything, then you want to start maybe even having like a place that's meant for distribution and whatnot. But I'm not at that point yet, so I definitely do it on more of like a lower scale level, and just more of like a personal, I buy the item and then I ship it out, and I repackage it and everything, so it's all consistent with the company, and then I ship it out to the customer.
Do you, I guess I have a couple questions, but do you pay licensing because you use the Gator logo?
No, I buy it from a distributor that already pays the licensing fee, meaning he charges me a higher price to buy them. That's why for these specific Gator watches, I have to charge more because the distributor's charging me more. He's paying all these licensing fees. He has to do all that. And I actually looked into like doing the collegiate licensing for different products. It's doable. It's a process. It's a long process. But I just didn't think it was necessary because people already had these great products. So I just said, I'll just buy them for that higher price and then resell them that way.
Alright, and the last question, have you set up kind of like a shipping discount system? Like I sell on eBay, so I get like 20-30% off when I ship.
Oh, okay.
Then if Ian walks into the shipping store, USPS or something, so
Right.
do you have something like that?
No, I don't have anything like that. I have to pay full price at the moment, and
Because if you ship first class mail, that would be like $1.69 because that probably weighs like what?
it doesn't
70
weigh much
ounces or
at all. Yeah.
Yeah,
With the
like-
packaging though, wouldn't you need like extra packaging? Like, wouldn't that add more weight?
Well, I do have to use special packaging because obviously you need to put this in like a bubble wrap sort of thing so it doesn't break. But it doesn't add too much weight to it. But at the moment, I'm just paying full price for the shipping right now.
Yeah, so what do you pay for shipping?
I
I imagine you use first class mail, right?
It depends. It's a couple dollars, like not too much at all.
Yeah, see, I pay $1.69, so if you, there's a website where you can do this. If you don't sell on eBay, I can send you it.
Yeah.
I can look it up. My laptop's dead, but if you want, I can.
Yeah, actually, I'm recording on that one, but if you can like write it down or
Yeah.
something, give it to me. That'd be awesome.
Oh, we have like
Thank
camera
you.
angles to choose from now.
I know, right? I'm like not even in my camera anymore.
Perfect for editing.
That's okay.
How do you want to expand it?
How do I want to expand it? Well, right now I'm doing like 5 million things. So I'm finishing up my master's. I'll be done in December. So kind of like going hard on the classes right now. And I'm interviewing for jobs right now. So a little busy on that front. But I mean, I'd definitely like to keep doing it and figuring out ways to promote it. I help sponsor a huge talent show here, doing things here and there just to help advocate not only the company but entrepreneurship in general and just spreading ideas and whatnot. But in the future, when I have more of an income to be able to spend on the company, then I'll probably do some more SEO kind of stuff and like get the internet presence really out there so I can sort of just sit back, relax, do my own thing, and then have people just order online. So there's no face-to-face really interaction going on.
I found it. It's stamps.com. It's $16 a month. and you'll get
Stamps.com?
Stamps. And you'll get
Okay.
steep discounts.
Perfect, thank you. It's easy to remember.
Have you considered endorsing for a not-for-profit organization, as a means of fundraising?
Well, actually, for the event on Wednesday, Raid the Plaza, we are requiring all of the companies to donate 10% of their proceeds to Animal People, which is a nonprofit organization here in Gainesville. So that will be the first thing, actually, that my company gets to do and say that we have donated a certain amount of our profit to an organization. So yeah, working on that.
Interesting. So would it be possible to continue this particular support of a not-for-profit the way that Ben and Jerry's does with their ice cream, for
Right.
example?
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially, I used to sell breast cancer awareness watches and everything too during October. So there's always room for like maybe certain types of watches and like sending those profits over to like a certain organization and whatnot, breast cancer awareness organization or whatever.
Are you set up as a sole proprietorship or LLC?
I am DBA, doing
Okay.
business under.
under
Yeah.
false name.
Yeah.
Or other name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I don't want to keep you guys here too long, so is that good for the questions? Yeah.
He asked the same question I wanted to ask about
Oh, okay,
license
okay.
things.
Well, I hope it answered it for you.
Yeah.
Okay.
STAMPS.
Yeah. With it's plural.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. And come on, Thank you.
We will be sending out an email blast about Entrepreneurs Rate Plaza. I know I'll be there. Are you gonna be there? Just bring a bunch of printed stuff. I mean, that's a cool ability
I'm still trying to get bobbleheads done by next week.
to just bring some of them.
Oh, that's
It's not
exciting.
done yet, so I'm in the.
Will you finish one of them?
I don't know. Get on Paracosm. They won't get back to me with their scanners.
Okay. All right. Don't get this.
I'm trying to assemble proficiencies from all over town right now. So.
No, it's you're in the logistics biz. I understand. Thanks for coming out, everybody. Talk to me about the social. I would love to see each and every one of you there. It's going to be laser tag. Yeah.
And the entrepreneurship club always encourages people to make sure that they do all of their selling and stuff legally,
Yes.
and making sure that you get your permits.
Yes, I would have to say
Are you
this.
doing the technical side?
Stay in compliance with the law.
More of the action. I did musical theater.
Ask forgiveness, not permission, is a fine practice when it's not dealing with the law. When it's dealing with the law, that's a bit different.
Thanks for watching.
That said, most things that you're going to do in business, the penalties are fines. So just compliance is cheaper than fines. Pay the money first. It's going to be a lot cheaper than doing it later. Kristen Indeed has a really good thing about it. She didn't know that she didn't charge sales tax. The lesson is, it's great if you have a business and you did stuff right and have enough money to pay the fines, but it's also putting people out of business. They realize they want to do it by the books. Don't let it keep you from doing a business. It's just part of your
It was just like a way to get into